Welcome in to this edition, Blue Sky Live, here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Ole Miss baseball taking 2 out of 3 from the Kentucky Wildcats over the weekend. Interesting games, close games all weekend there as they had to move things around with weather and whatnot, but they got them in, played all 3. Ole Miss won 2 of them, so we'll discuss that as Ole Miss is 8-4 in the SEC. After 4 conference weekends, and the Tennessee Volunteers coming to town here starting Friday. Volunteers that actually lost a series over the weekend. Texas A&M sweeping a doubleheader to take the series 2 out of 3 and get a little bit of life into what's been a very rough season early on for the Aggies. Not really early on, first half of the season for the Aggies. Also, Chris Beard's Rebels pick up their first transfer portal commit, Corey Chest, the former LSU Tiger, is now headed to Ole Miss. So we'll talk about that, where the portal's sitting. Big weekend in college basketball with the Final Four, 2 good games, and now a final tonight between the Florida Gators and the Houston Cougars. So all that and more coming up today on the show. Show brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations throughout the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55. They're out North Mississippi as well. That includes Sweet Daddy's locations, wherever those are located. You know, you got catering, you know, you got lunch specials, you got ribs, pulled pork, sides, desserts, plenty more there to take care of you or a big group also. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. Don't forget, it's employee pricing throughout the month of April at Ford. So now's a good time to check out that Ford product you've been thinking about. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
So we'll jump in. I feel like we're having like a constant mist go on for the last 36 hours. It doesn't really stop raining. It just mists.
Yes.
Just like it's like a horror film or something. Just water coming all the time here. I got out this morning and thought, oh, it's finally over. We're good. And you went, no, not so much. Not over. So anyway, I don't know why I'm complaining.
Did you run in it?
Yesterday, yeah. Yeah. It's not bad. It's fine.
It's really wearing contacts. Sometimes the mist will get in your eyes, and then the contacts start moving around on you.
That's a problem.
And that's not fun.
So you ran yesterday?
Yeah. I've built my way back to where I'm 4, 5, 6 times a week.
When's the marathon?
No marathon. Just getting the weight off.
When's the half marathon?
Nope.
No run? No race?
No race.
Nothing to plan for?
This is all about punishment and weight loss.
Do you, and I'm getting into something else, I promise, 30 seconds. Do you know how far you're running before you start? Do you set a goal, or do you just see how your body feels?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
The other day I said I'm just going to run 30 minutes, and I felt good, and I ran 15 more.
Okay.
Most days I'm telling myself, all right, we're going to get 4 miles in here.
Okay. I've been setting distances but not paces, and just letting my body dictate pace once I get started on how I feel. But then I end up getting a little competitive with myself, which I don't need to do. I need to be running slower.
I have learned at my age a little bit, this is my first admission to getting old, is that I do have to listen to my body as it pertains to pace. Yeah. If I try to go too fast,
you'll get hurt. Sore, tight.
My back will really hurt.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did they travel? Am I going to see Wes this weekend? Do they travel for baseball? Do I get to see Wes?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I actually hate that I'm not going to be in town.
He probably doesn't know that I hate him at all. So you think if I walked up and asked him for a selfie, he would take it with me?
Oh, almost assuredly.
You think so? Hey, Wes, just 1 second. Can I get a picture real quick? Is that okay? Just wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me go through this real quick because I listened to the games too and watched them over the weekend. You guys are kind of spoiled in this regard.
Real quick, let me do this. Andre, thanks for the super chat. I was not at the Auburn game in '96 when the barn caught fire. That was before I was on the Auburn beat. I'd moved to I was in Alabama maybe by then. I can't remember if I was there or not. I remember that game, but no, I was not. My first year on the Auburn beat was 98.
So the barn caught fire during the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Huge fire. You can see it way up over Jordan Hare.
Okay. Destroyed the barn?
Yeah. It was like where they played gymnastics and stuff.
Okay.
It was an on-campus building caught on fire. Yep.
Okay.
It was big fire.
Big fire. No one was hurt?
I don't think so. I don't really remember. It was
I feel like I've seen video of this, but I don't have it.
It was before
committed to memory.
Before my time on the Auburn beat.
Okay.
I started in August of 98 on the Auburn beat.
Okay. Yeah. So look, the first of it was you had a discrepancy because the Ole Miss and Kentucky started on Thursday. The Thursday game was on national television, so you got national announcers. You got people coming into town. You got the national broadcast. You didn't get the local stuff. Well, you heard them on the first day, and then on Friday and Saturday, you heard the local yokels that were doing the game for Kentucky. That is part of their in-house crew that does all Kentucky SEC Network plus games throughout the season, just like you get at Ole Miss with Keith Kessinger, Jake Armada, Matt McLaughlin, whoever is doing the play-by-play for Ole Miss. You're Ole Miss fans, so you probably don't notice it when Ole Miss people get to some extent positive or biased for your team. But then two, you have a really professional operation relative to most of, or at least half of the conference. So your people try to cover it and try to do it pretty straightforward and above board, Richard, when he does it, those guys. And it's not the local yokel folks that were doing it in Lexington. So it's actually a compliment to your people that you do it in a much more professional manner. But that's why you were noticing what you were noticing over the course of the weekend. Because, yes, they were horrid.
Yeah, I didn't listen to any of it. I just had it on mute. But
that's why.
I've never asked Jake this, but I suspect Jake at least envisions or wouldn't mind a broadcasting career. He's good.
Yeah.
And there's one surefire way to kill a broadcasting career. I suspect the cat's on you. I watched a good bit of SEC baseball this weekend, and the quality of broadcast varies.
Oh, it is dramatic. It is.
There's a handful that do a really good job.
There are. Yeah.
I watched a good amount of Florida Vanderbilt yesterday.
I ended up watching a lot of Florida Vanderbilt because I was just perplexed all weekend, going, "Holy hell!"
I actually tweeted that.
They're 1-11.
1-11. Because Vandy's not great,
and Florida's talented.
Yeah,
they have talent, and yet,
I mean, I have an SEC baseball hot take that the league's not very good.
I think the country's not very good.
Could be.
I think the sport is not very good. But yes, there's no doubt the league is not to the consistent level that I anticipated going into the season.
Yes.
There's 100% truth.
Yes. There's a whole bunch of really good teams in the SEC, and boy, it's just no, it's not. That's not true.
Everybody has flaws, and people are taking advantage of those flaws. Pitching across the country has gotten worse. We talked about it the other day for a few minutes, and to me, it's what's happened is that we've gotten so velocity dependent that we've forgotten how to pitch. We throw, we don't pitch. It creates more walks. It creates lack of rhythm in the game. It does so many different things, and it's created a worse product because of that. And because they throw harder, though, it's harder to get base hit after base hit after base hit. So then our hitters become obsessed with launch angle and trying to drop shoulders and do all this stuff and perfect geometry when that's going on. I mean, and look, Michael, Richard, and Keith are two of the best people to do it in this realm. So you're getting such a different element to.
Well, again, with Richard, you're dealing with someone who
does national games,
is professional, and does national games, and that's the last thing that he would want is that reputation professionally.
Yeah, and when he was the radio guy, Keith Kessinger was the best radio guy in the SEC. So
yes.
You're just
yes.
I mean, he's seen some baseball,
and cares about his work.
Yeah.
It's why I wrote about the girl, not to pick on the girl in 10 Thoughts. So in 10 Thoughts, there's a student at University of Florida who's covered Florida all year,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much home and away, and she's good. She's young, she's attractive. That helps. She gets interviews. She gets in the locker room. She does interviews. She's done a good job in the tournament when the level of access has ramped up. And she was at the Final Four Saturday for the Auburn-Florida semifinal,
Mm-hmm.
and she had her phone basically at her seat turned on her.
Yes.
Watching.
She was doing a social media influencer kind of thing.
Yes. And when Florida won, she cheered. And Ben Baby, who covers the Cincinnati Bengals, yes, that's his name, it's not his nickname. Ben Baby, who covers the Cincinnati Bengals for ESPN, said, I feel sorry somewhat for these young people coming into our field because they feel like they have to generate content as opposed to cover what they're covering. And he was like, and it's just something you can't do. And me and Ben apparently are birds from the same flock, right? I mean, you just can't cheer on press row. You just can't. And the reaction to his tweet was fascinating to me. It was very pro her. And it's why I think for a lot of people it's become the cop out. It's become the cop out in journalism is just be a fanboy. It's easier.
Well, they to the point they almost get mad at anybody who's not. You'll get agitation at just let me do it this way and it's the right way to do it and please shut up.
Yeah, and it's technically.
And now she's a student, so I give her a lot more leeway.
And I said that.
A ton.
I wrote that.
She is a member of the student body.
But the whole putting the camera on you is, and that's interesting because if she gets the results that she's looking for from
do you know the answer to this though? And I don't because I've never heard of this human before. You wrote about it.
Oh, really?
Yesterday.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I have no clue.
I've been following her. She's kind of become a sensation on the internet.
Okay, I have no idea. That's not an angle of the internet I see. Does she want to be a writer or does she want to be an influencer?
I don't know.
What is she actually trying to do? Because that would dictate.
I'm assuming, based on what she's doing, that she wants to be in broadcasting.
Yeah. I mean, because look, it's scary, but I think Grind's right. He goes in 15 years, almost everyone on press row will be cheering. I'm not sure he's wrong.
On when?
On press row.
Tonight?
In 15 years.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
100. I think you're correct.
100%.
Andre, thanks again.
There will literally be, and you know what will happen? They'll move the media up away from the floor where people can't see them cheering.
Yeah, which is happening in most places anyway.
Yeah.
Andre, I feel like at the college level at some point they got away from finding out if kids can play as opposed to launch angel analytics. No, I told you this. I was talking to Mike Bianco about it, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I think it was him. If not, I apologize, Mike, but I think you're the one who told me this. It was at Perfect Game Combines, and they were intentionally throwing the ball 57 feet and spiking it because they knew that would have a higher velocity rating on the gun than throwing it 60 feet and trying to locate it in front of scouts.
Yeah.
Intentionally throwing it short because it raised the velocity.
Yeah. Because the velocity is what got the scholarship offer.
Yeah.
And then they get to college, and now you got to teach them how to pitch.
And
good luck.
And it's what's happening. So, I mean, and look, you guys are right. I mean, Grind up there, at some point, 1-11 is not talented. Oh, okay. They have a coach that is the worst in the league at managing people, at keeping you together, at trying to harness something in bad times. Kevin O'Sullivan's a hell of a baseball coach, but he is one hell of a front runner. He is not one to bring you back from the precipice. That job in 22 that Mike and those guys did of keeping them at 7-14 and getting them in and going to win the title, Kevin O'Sullivan would have not won a national championship with that roster and that team at that moment. If you dropped him in coming back from Fayetteville and said, hey, Kevin, here's your group, go win a title, not a chance in hell. I mean, his body language in the dugout was horrid. You said you watched a good bit of the game. Kevin's over here throwing papers and just...
Total opposite of Tim Corbin, who just stays calm. Highs and lows, baby. Tim Corbin just... If you watched a video... If Tim Corbin put a video on Tim Corbin, I'm not sure that you'd really know whether Vanderbilt was winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty calm.
You'll know whether Kevin's team is winning or losing.
Oh, boy.
I mean, his blood pressure was just... And it's like, you're not helping.
But, I said this in 10 Thoughts. I'll say it again. And this because it applies to Ole Miss. When I watch Ole Miss play, at no point do I go, man, that's a really good team. No offense.
No, I know.
No offense to everybody. Chill. Just relax. Because I'm coming with a compliment. But I always go back to what Andy Kennedy says. Because it's true. You are what your numbers say you are. And if you're 8-4, you're winning 2 out of every 3 SEC games. And yeah, you've lost a couple that you could have won. You've now won a couple that you could have lost. We're getting some balance now. But they're 8-4. They're solid.
Is Andy known for that, or money doesn't buy happiness, but broke don't buy shit?
Both.
Okay. Which one is one?
I mean, he's a great philosopher. I mean, he's not wrong. I've used that with my kids before.
What are you doing?
Trying to charge my ring.
Oh, okay. No, look, from an Ole Miss standpoint, it's the exact opposite of Florida.
I didn't even check my sleep score today.
I got
my brain's all over the place.
I got a 90 this morning.
Oh, yeah?
I was really excited. Got a 90.
Let's see what I got. Keep going.
Okay. Well, all right.
It's just taking a minute. Got to read it. It's updating.
So,
I think I slept pretty well, but I woke up middle of the night and it took me a few minutes to fall back asleep. That usually
won't kill you, will
that
it?
usually bumps my score down.
Does it really?
77.
Oh, wow. Sorry. 77 is not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's a C. All right. So,
yeah. I was not efficient, and I only had 37 minutes of REM sleep. I didn't get deep sleep.
There's a couple things here with Ole Miss. Is that one, and I think the sample size is now large enough to do this. They are 24-7, I believe, through 31 games.
More importantly, they're 8-4.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the number of games they've played. We're in the second half of the season. 31 games. They're not gamble, but their strategy to get older, to get college-ready guys who have been through the wars, who weren't going to be as emotionally unstable as some past teams. It's won. It's paid off. I think it is one of the reasons why they have done as well as they have in a lot of ways, because we keep look. The weird thing is what you mentioned is that they're only, while they have been bailed out of a couple wins they easily could have lost, being the last game against Kentucky, the other game against Kentucky. Because I mean, look, here's the stat, and I knew it was bad, but somebody on the internet who I'd love to credit right now put it in front of my face as I was trying to look it up, and I don't have your name, so I apologize, but I took the content from you. Ole Miss was only winning at the end of 2 of 31 innings against Kentucky over the weekend.
Yeah.
2 that mattered.
Yeah.
Campbell Smithwick hit a home run in the 9th inning to break a tie in game 1, and then they just found a way in what was a stupid baseball game in the finale there to win. Luke Hill hits a 2-run homer, and then they hold on in the bottom of the inning. So that has paid off. It's made them tough. It's made them gritty. It's let them use whatever the hell little adjective you want to use for a team that kind of plays hard and doesn't get up and do all those things. And some of their parts is better than their parts. There's no part of Ole Miss where you just look at them and go, oh, well, that's top 3 in the conference at all. But they've been able to mostly mask some flaws. They have taken advantage of playing Missouri, the opportunities they have in front of them. It's all you can do. And they're just really steady in a league that doesn't feel that steady right now. The league feels very up and down emotionally for a lot of teams. And Ole Miss is benefiting from not being that. Because you're right. I look at some of their stats, and that's worrisome. You know, Ole Miss struggled all weekend from a starting pitcher standpoint to get even sort of any depth inside their starting pitching. It's taxing the crap out of their bullpen. This is a big week, by the way, because they have 5 games. They just have so many innings they've got to play. They've got to play no one that even might sniff the mound in an SEC game against Alcorn on Wednesday. And it's allowed them
the SEC website's so bad.
Go to D1. Go to D1.
How do you get a website at the SEC level when they do so many things well, but your website's this bad?
Yeah, Mike was thrown out for arguing balls and strikes because you cannot argue a ball and strike in college baseball. You get tossed.
Yeah.
That is just rule 1, whatever. If you argue balls and strikes, that's it. I mean, yeah, Kentucky had 3 runners thrown out at the plate. But, I mean, Ole Miss also had bases loaded with nobody out, scored 1 run. I mean, like, it was just a goofy game in both directions, and Ole Miss found a way to get it done. And I tell you what happened, too, is, and it's kind of leading into what you guys were talking about. Kentucky essentially plays 10-year-old travel baseball or softball with all the screaming and antics and stuff in their own way. Like, The three most annoying teams in the league to play for different reasons are Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Vanderbilt does all their calisthenics crap all the time. Tennessee
But in terms of just
is trying to fight. And
pitch
then,
to pitch, Vanderbilt is less obnoxious than those two.
Oh, it's not close. No.
Yeah,
They're in a whole different
Yeah.
less tier than these other
Yeah.
two. Tennessee's Tennessee. They're trying to fight you every pitch. And then Kentucky does this stupid youth softball chaining constantly and the baby shark deal. And they've got people jumping around all over the place. Mingione's not very well liked throughout the league, to say the least. It's all organized, though, to get you off your game, to create energy, and to screw with you mentally. That's what that's there for. And it works a lot because they play a type of game that requires a lot of execution and concentration from the opponent. They don't hit a ton of home runs. They're stealing bases. They're bunting. They're moving. They're trying to play defense. That's true. Vandy does have the whistler. They have all this different stuff, and this goes into it out there. So it's kind of a hard place to play. Like, it's weird. They don't have a ton of crowd. You're having to generate your own emotion and energy and everything else. And Ole Miss handled that really well. Now, at the end of the game, after Candy gave them the big thumbs down as soon as it ended, and they mocked the baby shark thing, but they had won. It's fine. Mike rightfully told them to go get on the bus and don't go shake hands. Let's not fight right here when this game is over.
Mike probably would have preferred that they not do some of the mocking and such.
He yelled at him later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But in the moment, just go get on the bus. Let's
get out of here.
Yeah, let's. The rain is coming. Let's use that as the reason we need to go get on the bus. The past couple of Ole Miss teams would not have handled that, and they wouldn't have won that series. They would have gotten rattled by all the crap.
Yeah,
and wouldn't have been able to focus in and finish that. So
would have probably gotten swept.
Yeah, and I thought that was a huge deal. I mean, I think it was Joe Healy from D1 Baseball said it. He goes, at some point, I mean, as we're talking about, if your record is that, if your record is that, there's a reason it is, and that's what you are. And it's where I'll come back after the break and keep talking about this. Colin Brister put up a show with Rippy last night on the network. He texts me after the game and he goes, "Hey, don't we need to shift the conversation? It's about hosting now, right?" And I went, "Maybe. Yeah, let me think about it, and we'll get to it."
Well, that's why I pulled up SEC stats.
I know. It's what's funny about it. It's what's funny about it. So
because I mean, I have some theories here.
Yeah,
and I know what the committee says. I don't believe them.
Okay.
And so we'll talk about it. I have some thoughts there.
All right. First, NE Spark, fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available, whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends. They offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service. That's nespark.com. NeSpark, get connected. Stay local.
It's cool out today, but you know the warm weather's coming. We got teased with it a little bit last week or reminded that it's coming, depending on your perspective. It's going to get hot, so you want to make sure that air conditioning unit is ready to roll. Get in touch with our friends at Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. Brought to you by Window Hero, window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, everything in between. Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise necessary to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Their experts are fully bonded and insured. They provide specialized equipment, exclusive cleaning solutions, a satisfaction guarantee, and more. They can clean up to 4 stories on buildings. So if you're in North Mississippi and you want to get your windows, gutters, and everything in between cleaned, get in touch with our friends at Window Hero, 662-510-7077 to get an estimate. You can also learn more at windowhero.com. Oxford locals and Ole Miss families, if you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016, Lapel's takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to their pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, right across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention Rebel Grove for 50% off your first order. Trust Lapels to keep you looking your best. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago Wealth Management, specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting, see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. And we're brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, flexible bangles, diamond pendants, earrings, and more. If you're looking for gifts, they've got you taken care of. Birthdays, graduations, anniversary gifts, push presents, and more. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler.
So have you looked at the RPI top 10? Have you seen this?
I've not.
All right. So RPI still really matters in college baseball. It's stupid. It makes no sense. It shouldn't. We should have a better metric than we do.
Okay.
But it means different things for different conferences. They make their own rules. Baseball is unlike any other sport when it comes to selection committee. They essentially have their own criteria. They worry about regions and areas of the country and all this stuff. Not supposed to, but they do. RPI, though, still king when it comes to college baseball, especially with host sites and things like that for the most part. Here's the top 10. Arkansas, number 1. Clemson, number 2. Ole Miss played them. Georgia, number 3. Texas, number 4. Tennessee, number 5. LSU, number 6. Ole Miss, number 7. Vanderbilt, number 8. Alabama, number 9. Georgia Tech, number 10. 2 ACC schools and 8 SEC schools.
Where's Georgia?
3.
Oh, Georgia's 3.
3. Arkansas, Clemson, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt. Alabama, Georgia Tech, top 10. Arizona, by the way, at 12, and that is a massively high RPI for a Pac-12 school because they're not. They're in the Big 12 now. And Ole Miss beat them early. So Ole Miss has non-con wins over number 2 and number 12 at the moment. Worth mentioning.
So typically, there's 16 host sites.
There are.
Typically, the SEC gets 7?
5 to 7. We'll go with that. I think the record is 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the contenders this year, if you look at the standings through 4 weekends, and I think 4 weekends is when I start to look at the standings and go, okay.
Yeah, we're almost halfway home.
These mean something.
Sure.
Arkansas, Texas, and Tennessee. and LSU. And maybe Tennessee. Yeah, probably Tennessee as well. Those 4
almost guaranteed
have almost put themselves in position where if they have a decent second half of the season, they're going to be national seeds.
Meaning top 8.
Yeah. Georgia's 8-4 in the league. Ole Miss is 8-4 in the league. Bama and Vanderbilt are 7-5 in the league. All of those teams, by the way, have elite national records. Arkansas and LSU are both 30-3. Tennessee's 28-4. Texas is 26-4. Georgia's 29-5. Alabama's 27-6. Vandy's 24-8. Ole Miss 24-7.
Yeah, they're all fine.
They're all beyond fine. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. Colin said this. I think I agree. As long as Ole Miss gets 1 this weekend, I think they go into the second half of the season in position to host.
There has been a 15-win host before. I think Auburn did it. I had going into the season that 13 is getting you into the tournament and 16 is hosting. 16 is still 100% hosting, in my opinion.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the teams that have basically wrapped the hosting thing up, there's 4. Arkansas, Texas, LSU, Tennessee would have to absolute tank.
And nationally, Clemson. So 5 of the 16 are taken. Yeah. But just 5 of 16 have been taken.
Florida State's good, right?
Yeah, they're good.
That's the thing. I mean, I know nothing about national college baseball.
But Florida State's RPI is 24.
Oh.
But probably still getting in. But I mean, here you said contenders. Run down the list a little bit. Auburn, 15. Oklahoma, 19 RPI. Now, their league records currently would not get them in. Oklahoma just got swept by LSU at home.
Yeah, Oklahoma's 5-7.
No, and Auburn's 6-6.
22-8. Auburn's 22-10.
Yes. So they're not hosting today, but those are RPIs in the top 20. Which is kind of where I was going back to my thing, is I just think the country is a different college baseball sport now. And everybody has flaws differently. It's interesting. The top teams have more top-end talent than ever before in a lot of ways, relative to the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have some holes because everything has gotten so portal dependent that you're just not – one little area of your team is not cohesive. You didn't bring guys in, leave them for 3 years, and get continuity in that way. It's just created – you're creating more roller coaster. You're creating lack of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And – you're
lack
seeing,
of identity.
Yeah, tons of that.
Yeah.
And you're seeing
just teams,
different ways that teams are being built. Mike has done a really good job building the roster. His assistants, however you want to do it. Corbin has done a really good job building the roster this year.
Shocking.
They have an identity. They know who they are.
Two guys who sort of done this for a minute.
They not their first rodeo. Tim Corbin and Dave Van Horn were hired in 2003. Mike was hired in 2001.
Jim Schlossnagle wins kind of everywhere he ever goes. He's excellent.
Texas is very good. Van
Horn's an excellent coach. He runs a great program, obviously.
He does.
I mean, the numbers speak for this.
I told you that stat of the day was
speak for it. I mean,
that stat of the day was incredible. He's been 8-4 for 8 straight years. 8-4 or better for 8 straight years in league play.
I mean, they're 22-1 at home. They lost to Missouri State in extras.
Oh, did they?
That's it. 5-1 on the road. 3-1 neutral. I'm just looking at them. I mean, they've won 7 in a row. Texas 11-1 in the league, 26-4 overall, 15-3 at home, 6-0 on the road, 5-1 neutral. All the measurables. LSU 10-2, 30-3, 22-1 at home, just like Arkansas. 4-2 on the road, 4-0 neutral. They've won 8 in a row. It's almost like LSU baseball sort of figures it out most years.
So you're saying you think the SEC is getting 8?
Host?
Yeah, because there's no way around it.
Yeah, I kind of think they're going to get 8 host sites. Unless some of these teams like Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Vanderbilt go take the gas pipe. I mean, look, let's say for
Ole Miss doesn't play Georgia or Alabama, by the way.
So for kicks and giggles, let's say Ole Miss loses 2 of 3 this weekend. I'm giving them a loss, okay?
You're giving them a series loss.
A series loss.
Yeah.
That's 9-6 at the turn.
Which actually that's tying or one off Ole Miss's best ever record at the turn, frankly. So, that's not common for Ole Miss teams. They play better on the back half.
If they go 6-9 in the back half, you're 15-15.
And no problems.
I mean, so
that's not host, I don't think, because you go 6-9 in the back.
Go 7-8 on the back half, and you're hosting.
You are.
Who do they have left?
All right. Their back half is 3 road trips, only 2 at home.
Okay.
You got 3 or 5 at home on the front end.
I'm not convinced that's a big deal, but go ahead. Who do they have?
Well, they have 2 teams you really could beat. You're at South Carolina to start. They suck right now.
Well, man, I think it's fair to say they suck. They're 2-10 in the league, 19-14 overall. Okay, so let's give them 2 wins. So we're at 11, and I'm giving them 1 win against Tennessee.
11-7.
So we're at 11-7. All right.
Vanderbilt at home.
Just to play along, I'm going to give them a series loss, 1 win, 12-9.
12-9 at Oklahoma.
Let's make this dramatic. 13-11.
State on the road.
They're not good. They're 3-9. They're 19-13. Let's give them 2 wins.
I don't think Ole Miss has won a series there since 2014.
And I don't think in today's sports, I don't think that shit matters at all. Pardon my French.
Mitchell Sanford is not aware of that stat.
So I had them at 12-9, so 14-10.
14-10. Auburn at home. No, we skipped a series. What did we do? Where did we script our math?
After Mississippi State.
Yeah, Auburn at home. That's the last series. So who did we forget?
So we missed 1. But they're going to get 2 against Auburn. So that's 16. So I think you're hosting.
All right. This is dumb. Real quick. You had them 9-6 at the break, right?
9-6 after Tennessee.
Okay, 11-7 after Carolina.
Yes.
12-9 after Vanderbilt.
Right.
13-11
after Oklahoma.
You giving them 1 or 2 in Starkville?
I'm giving them 2.
15-12.
So I've got them at 17 and 13.
You have them at 17 and 13.
Where they're hosting comfortably.
Oh, just
comfortably.
Catbird.
Yeah. And I'm giving them some series losses that they could win. Even if you want to go, oh, no, the Mississippi State thing, Neal, the rivalry is bigger than, no. Okay, 16. They're hosting. And I gave them 2 losses against Oklahoma, and I gave them 2 losses at home against Vanderbilt when they could easily take 2 of 3 from Vanderbilt. Easy.
On their back half, 1, 2, 3, 4 of their 5 series are against teams in the bottom half of the conference standings right now.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt is the only team they play in the top 8 in the league on the back half.
And this is my hot take.
Yes.
In years past, you'd look at teams with some bad records and go, boy, they're really good, though. I've watched them. They're not really good. Like, I'm almost to the point where in my watching stuff, I'm not. There's 5 or 6 teams that I'm canceling.
I still think because of talent, Florida and A&M can get anybody on any weekend, even though they are complete and utter culture train wrecks. But I think I agree with you talent-wise on Missouri, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Oklahoma, and take your pick there, whoever I'm forgetting. And Oklahoma plays kind of a Kentucky brand of baseball. You have to play well, but if you play well, you win.
But, I mean, the teams that I've watched this year and gone, damn, they're good. Arkansas, Texas, LSU. No particular order. I'm just reading in the SEC standings. Tennessee. And I'm going to be honest, they've got some stuff that I don't like.
Arkansas, LSU, and Texas are the 3 best teams in the league.
There's no question about it.
I think Tennessee is 4th.
And I think Georgia's right behind them.
Yeah.
There's some things about Georgia that I like better than Tennessee.
But I don't think there's a doubt in my mind that I like Arkansas, Texas, and LSU more than I like Tennessee right now.
Absolutely. It's not even close.
And if you let Tennessee get down in the pack with you at all, they start having some culture issues because they're so used to just front running.
No, when you watch Arkansas, Texas, and LSU play, those 3 teams, and I think Ole Miss is kind of in this mix. I don't think Ole Miss is as talented as those teams. But if you watch those teams play, they're just really steady. They're just very consistent. That's what you see. When you watch those teams play, they just kind of, no matter what's happening in the game, they just play in the game. And I think Ole Miss is kind of that way. I'm not sure Ole Miss has the level of pitching that those teams have, and so sometimes it doesn't show.
Yeah, they have a talent discrepancy from those teams.
But I think in terms of just their approach day in and day out, I've been real impressed with Ole Miss. They don't get all emotional. No. They just kind of play the game. And I'm telling you, I'm starting to think that in today's college baseball, that stuff, I think coach matters more than it's mattered in a long time.
My hot take on them is I actually think their bullpen is better than it gets credit for. It's getting asked to do too much.
Yeah.
I actually think they're catching too much bullpen criticism.
Texas swept Georgia grind.
Yes.
Close games, but
they won all of them.
Yeah. Texas
and LSU pitches the shit out of it.
They're really good. They're really good.
But I don't think Elliott's gone more than 6 in a game this season, and I'm not sure he's finished 6. Maddox was good on Saturday.
He was.
Or Friday, whatever the hell day. It doesn't matter.
Saturday.
But he's really struggled to get through 2 or 3 most games. And Mason's going to be pretty good and not screw you over the course of 3.5 innings, but he's going to give you 3.5 innings.
No, it's the one thing I think over the course of the season you wonder, does the bullpen start getting tired?
And it's why we got 5 games this week. Yeah, 5 games this week.
Well, I don't know who the cats are at the bottom of the staff, but they're getting innings this week if it's me.
They are at Memphis on Tuesday night. They play Alcorn at home on Wednesday.
Oh, they'll beat Alcorn.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said earlier. I said I would not throw a soul on the active roster on Wednesday night on the league roster.
Just let it be.
Takoyan, here's the ball. Go get the Braves.
Rock them.
Yeah. And, hey, offense, go score 15 to make this.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they should.
Don't piddle around.
And probably will.
I don't know. I saw 12-0 against Jackson State. You saw what that crap turned
And they
into.
still won.
They run rolled them in 7.
Yeah, it's fine.
And here's the truth. Your non-con's pretty good. Now, I'd like for them to not lose more than one more non-league game. 20-6 is kind of where you'd like that non-conference thing, in my opinion, if you're trying to host at 16-14.
Right.
I do think there's still some metrics like that matter. But let me be clear here while talking out both sides of my mouth. Don't blow a ton of bullpen arms to beat Memphis on Tuesday night. If that's a schedule loss, it's just a freaking schedule loss.
Agreed.
Get back on the bus and come home and deal with it later.
Just doesn't matter.
No. You're not extending Connor Spencer or somebody on Tuesday to beat Memphis.
It's like I saw the quote from Van Horn after they lost to Missouri State. Someone asked him if he was upset about the bullpen blowing the game, and he said no. Just no. I mean,
he say no.
No. He's smart enough to know that that's not going to mean anything when the committee sits down. He knows the other number matters. The SEC number matters. If they get to 20 in SEC, they're going to be a national host. Missouri State loss be damned.
We say this all the time, and I mean, you've got...
And it's just true.
Yeah, you have several baseball fan bases, but I told you, I have a lot of mornings when I'm not doing anything, because it's not even really an LSU show. I'll turn on Matt Moscona's little morning scone thing while I'm working or whatever, and I like Matt. I listen to him talk. And they get so pissed off at him because every single day he's like, you can go 0-26, and it does not matter in the non-league. Like, if you win 20 SEC games, I don't care. At all.
I mean, that's hyperbolic, but I get his
but
point.
those LSU fans are, by God, pitchforks. Like,
Yeah,
no, we lost to Tulane on Tuesday, by God. It is.
Doesn't matter.
It's like, whatever.
Doesn't matter if you sweep Oklahoma.
Elliott has been fine. He hit 4 batters the other day. Okay. He's the one guy that can give you some length. It's harder to throw on Friday than Saturday. That's some of this. Hunter is not as good as he was 3 years ago, but he's been working on some mechanical things, and you're relying on a pitching coach to have everything in place before the season started, and that's not realistic. So they're still working on stuff every day, even as the season plays out. Everybody keeps asking that. Do you move Mason Morris into the rotation? I just don't like taking Hunter's bridge.
Yeah,
because where am I going? Because Mason was damn good in that opener the other night.
And Ole Miss needs to win the Friday game.
Yes. So leave Mason, let him come in after Hunter and try to finish the thing.
Because you can mess everything up by trying to fix one thing.
But and Mason can give you like 4. It's where Hunter's got to give you something, because if you could get the first win and not have to use Spencer, if you could just go Elliott to Morris and finish one,
right,
it gives you so much more advantage.
Yeah.
And they got to figure out this with Braden Jones, because he's way too talented to be getting rocked like he is right now these last 2 outings. Foley said he was tipping pitches the other night.
Almost certainly.
I'll take his word for it. And then this week, I don't know. He walked the first 2 batters he faced.
I mean, well, you're at the point of the year where everybody's got a lot of film on you. It's advanced scouting, and these coaches are good. The other coaches are trying too.
You do midweeks because you need to play more than 30 games in a season. That's why.
Yeah.
And you need to use pitchers. I mean, like, you're getting guys work. I mean, you need more availability for innings too. There's a lot there. But yeah, no, Morris is very critical. I just don't like moving him to the starting rotation. And if you're moving somebody, you'd be moving Maddox. I mean, Mason has not done anything. You look at Mason's raw numbers; they're fine. There's nothing to him. It's a problem. So he just doesn't. You'd like for him to be able to throw one more inning. Mason Nichols. Sorry, it's confusing when it's Mason Morris and Mason Nichols.
It was a little confusing, but I knew what you meant.
Most people.
But my point is, their RPI's where it is. They've got 8 wins. I mean, I think the only thing that stops me from saying, well, and I'm not moving the goalpost, but just shifting the focus.
Yeah,
if they got swept this weekend and just got bombed in all 3 games, you'd go, well, maybe not. Maybe they really benefited from playing Missouri and Florida.
But you're still 8-7.
But you're still there, yeah.
I mean, Colin said it. Like I said, I'm sure he said it on his show with Rippy. He goes, they remind me of the 2016 team. I know that means nothing to Neal, but that made tons of sense. That was a 2016 team that was not very talented. With all due respect, love him to death. Like, Brady Bramlett was their ace. David Parkinson was in their starting rotation. It was just kind of some guys for the most part. It was the year before they signed that #1 recruiting class, but they were a pretty good team. Again, some better than parts, and they went 18-12 or something in the SEC and hosted. Now they went 0-2 in the regional. They lost to Utah and Tulane on back-to-back days, but
yeah, it's just
that's a whole different ball of wax. But catcher for Tulane was really good. I think he went pro. Jake Rogers, I think was his name. Utah won the Pac-12 and was a 4 seed that year.
How about that?
Yeah. Fun fact.
Utah won't win the Pac-12 this year.
They will not. Yeah, Foley said that he was tipping his pitches. His quote to me was something along the lines of, "I was surprised we left him in as long as we did with that happening." But then part of my thing was, okay, did you call time and tell? Like, I don't know. Again, I don't have enough information here.
Right.
But
I suspect there were conversations.
Yeah.
Just guessing.
Yeah, I don't think he went, hey, cool, fastball inside. I mean, and they're good hitters. You know what's coming. They will hit it.
Well, and again, they have coaching staffs that work too. The other team's trying as well.
God, the last time Tennessee was here was that 3-game mauling in 22. It was like number 1 versus number 1 or something.
Oh, yeah,
like it was
early in the conference season.
Yeah, and just it's 2 blowouts, and then Ole Miss kind of gave away the Sunday game. Tennessee swept them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was all off and running from there.
It's really the first series in a long time that if I were in town, I might have gone out there just to watch the fireworks. If there are fireworks. But usually when you tell people there are going to be a lot of fireworks, there are none.
I mean, I don't think Hunter Elliott is going to hit Andrew Fisher in the first inning on Friday night. That would shock me. Frankly, you can't run the risk of getting thrown.
So are there fireworks in the form of people getting thrown at?
Friday night's going to be interesting. Not in Hunter hitting him in the first inning. I will be floored if that happens. But Liam Dole's on the other side, and he's doing all this cussing during the middle of at-bats and all this stuff. I mean, do I think something's going to happen, at least where there's some ruffled feathers? Yes, 100%.
Do you think there's going to be a fight, or do you think they're going to throw
there's
it
hardly
Andrew
ever
Fisher?
A fight.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but you're pretty pissed off at Fisher and Doyle, and Doyle's going to be pitching against you. He's good. He strikes out a lot of guys. Now, he gives up runs. Ole Miss has seen that, but he strikes out a ton of guys, and the entire time he's up there just mouthing and cussing and
yeah, he's in his own little space.
He is.
Yeah.
He's psycho for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So
we had some quotes that got people worked up the other day, even though it was nothing really all that dramatic. I mean, I saw people kind of getting worked up over it, and I was like, eh.
I mean,
he's just complimenting his own coaching staff. It's fine. What's he supposed to say? I'm here, but these guys aren't very good.
But is somebody going to kind of throw it up there at some point? Probably. I mean, yeah, I expect some sort of, kind of like you used to get with Ole Miss and Vanderbilt every season. Like, yeah, I'd expect somebody to do something. And
well, look, my deal is if you're going to throw at somebody, you might as well go ahead and hit them. Because if you're going to throw at them and get all the stuff all worked up,
let's go ahead and
just do it. And if you throw it at him and you hit him high, now you're getting nasty.
So just throw it into his ass and move on with the day.
I mean, if you wanted to make a statement, that's the statement. Frankly.
Throw and hit him?
Yeah, but you're hitting him middle of the back down. You're not throwing at somebody's head, and it's where you all of a sudden
you've got a real deal going on here.
Now the umpire goes, "Ah, damn it,
this ain't good." Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if Ole Miss. I don't know who their John Gaddis is this year. To chunk it up there.
What time's the game Friday?
I don't know.
I might have to turn that on.
Okay,
find that on a stream.
All right, we'll move on. First, the Citizens Bank, not just an account number, but a valued member of their community. So whether you're there in the market for a mortgage or any other banking necessities, you can stop by and visit 902 Sisk Avenue, Suite E, to discuss your options with any of your experienced bankers who value your unique financial journey. Make every moment uniquely yours. Your success is their top priority, and while you're there, be sure to ask about School Spirit debit cards. They donate an amount per every transaction to the local school of your choice, whether it's Oxford, Lafayette, or Regents. That's the Citizens Bank, PHILA.com.
We're also brought to you by our good friends at Argent Wealth. They're based in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Argent, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Argent will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's myargentwealth.com. We're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John is part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. So get in touch with him. Give him some parameters. Give him a budget. That's important. Then let him give you options. And know this, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. And we're brought to you by our friends at Parish Brewing Company. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they do it. They've got a new double IPA out. I can't remember the name of it. I tried one. I was at Chicory. I grabbed an individual and gave it a shot. It was excellent. Wherever you look for your beer, whether it's grocery stores or at the bar or restaurants, look for Parish Brewing Company products. You will not regret it.
Podcast brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer medicine. 3 prescriptions the same time each month and take care of you. So whether you are in Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs or Oxford with G&M, that's 662-236-2222. Ole Miss gets its transfer portal class started on Sunday. The addition of Corey Chest, the LSU forward, athletic rebounder is what Ole Miss is hoping to should get with Chest, the 6'8", 220-pounder out of New Orleans. Again, spent a redshirt year and a freshman season there with the Tigers. Had a good game against LSU. I mean, against Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. I think he had 12 boards against
something like that.
The Rebels.
6 points, 12 boards, something like that.
Had 18 against Alabama at one point.
Yeah, had a 12 and 18 game against Bama.
Yeah, that'll play. I think he had 11 or 12 games with double-digit rebounds this season. Didn't play a ton. His minutes were not extreme. Look, here's the deal with that. I was talking to somebody yesterday. How many minutes he plays for Ole Miss is depending on who else they get on the roster. Mm-hmm. You don't know right now. I mean, you would –
right now he'd get a lot of minutes.
I mean, he'd get all the minutes now. That was funny yesterday. Malik Dia announced his return. He's like, come back with my brothers. And you go, like the foster children coming in? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's maybe the staff.
Yeah, sure.
Managers.
I mean, Klafke's back.
Klafke is back. But it was big news for Ole Miss getting Dia back. That was job one. I thought they were getting him back. It wasn't really a doubt. But
this is where I'm not good at this, honestly. That happened, and I was like,
well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much reported he was coming back. I asked him to his face after the Michigan State game, do you anticipate being back? And he said yes. And so when he comes back, it's some of the people in the
breathless of it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to criticize individuals by name, but you're being a little dramatic. That's all I'm saying. Making this 4 stories about here's how he. I mean, you knew he was coming back. He didn't get in the portal.
Where's he going?
Where was he going to go? He told you he was probably coming back. He never got in the portal, and then he announced, "Yeah, indeed, I'm back." Okay, cool.
What he was announcing was I signed a new contract.
Yeah,
that's what he
reached.
He renegotiated.
He reached terms.
Yes,
but instead, it's what a big get. I was like, okay, hold up. They never lost him.
Yeah, he was one of two we had over here on this column, and now we've added Corey Chest to this column too. At this point,
I told you that these two guys weren't leaving, and this guy wasn't. I told you here's who's coming back, I didn't ever mention the one guy because he was leaving, but he was still with the team, and
Bull.
I didn't want. Yeah, John Bull. I was trying not to even say his name now. Just let it be.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm good at it anymore. I think you have to be. Because apparently some of these people are making a significant amount of money on Twitter because that's why they tweet some more.
Neal's brain doesn't operate in that way.
I just kind of operate pragmatically.
So
I don't think that works.
Dia, Chess, good start to the front court. What you need out of him, again, you don't know yet because you don't know what's going around him. I mean, Beard would love to go, I don't care if he gives me anything but 8 minutes because look at all these studs I got lined up. I mean,
well, they're paying him for more than 8 minutes.
They are, but he's not making frontline money.
Oh, no. No.
I mean, that's the thing here because we'll transition. Chest, rebounder, rim protector, athletic, something Ole Miss, frankly, didn't really have on this roster. So that is a positive. You're fixing a thing. I think he's going to play defense. Chris Beard has been enamored with him for most of the season, including playing him twice when he was at OSU. He chooses the Rebels over Alabama. He had 3 significant SEC offers, all basically paying him about the same thing. And Ole Miss and Beard get him. So no, it's a good addition. It's a really good addition. It gives you something to build off of in that way that tries to fix one of what you had last season as an inefficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, since you don't have that roster back, you don't know what your inefficiencies are this year yet. So you can't say,
no way to know.
Well, that fixed our problem. It's like, well, there are no players to know what the problem is yet.
Oh, it's like tomorrow people will come out with the way too early top 25, and I'm like, not only is it way too early, it's a complete. You're just guessing on program brands, which is fine. Just say that though. But there's so many teams like, well, this team has 3 players right now.
Yes. But anyway, so good get there. We'll have more on him. Story at rebelgrove.com. Neal wrote that, all that stuff. You're probably wondering what's going on. Ole Miss being very deliberate on Pop Isaacs, the Creighton guard. Look, he is a guy that can be a bucket if he's healthy. He averaged 16 in a short period of time for Creighton. He averaged 3. He had double digits 3 straight years, including a couple at Texas Tech. He was all Big 12 with the Red Raiders. He's a guy that Chris Beard recruited to Texas Tech prior to leaving for Texas. But he has that hip issue. He had a procedure on the hip about a year ago and then had the surgery that shut him down after 8 games this season.
Yep.
He scored 27 in his last game against Kansas in a win over the Jayhawks.
And then did not play again.
And because of what he's potentially capable of, his ask around $1 million, somewhere in there, going to be a little more vague, means it's a lot of money, and you have to be really, really sure. So that's not as easy as one physical and then you sign him and call it a day, because when you're spending that cash and you're counting on him in your structure of your roster to give you 15 to 20 points a night, you can't lose him to a hip injury that you could have found prior to that.
No, you're kind of asking him to replace Sean Padula.
You are. So this is a deal where what would
Padula get in the portal today?
All of it. All of it.
Goodness gracious.
So they have to be 100% sure here. They're being helped a little bit by the portal's not moving crazy fast. Not many people are making quick decisions right now.
Well, and I wrote about this too, because today's kind of the beginning of a weird period. Because today they're having the big, long hearing. Judge Wilkin.
Yes. But Baker doesn't think she's making a ruling today.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's just kind of.
And so on one hand, but you also have schools that are cautious. And they're like, God, what if you overpromise money here that you don't ultimately have? What if this holds up? Then you have me. I would be sitting in the room going, this has no chance to hold up.
Oh, and one thing on that is I did not factor in, and I had heard this before, and it just slipped my mind. You talked about Deloitte, and we'll have 2 sentences here because I don't need Neal to use the last match he has over there on the table. It's not that they tell a kid he can't make a certain amount of money. It's that the excess over the value comes out of the rev share, not NIL. It shifts where it's from.
Right. I just don't know who establishes value, how you do value.
Yeah.
I don't understand fundamentally how a third party that is hired by one of the two parties sets a value.
Don't know. We'll see.
We'll
know soon.
I'm fascinated by it. Because don't they have to know, and maybe this will create transparency where Deloitte will know how much everybody's getting?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Over whatever the number is.
I just...
But...
Like, there's a kid that just is... I don't want to do names because in the event that I'm wrong, I don't want to create it. There's a kid who is signed with a major program, committed to a major program out of the portal, and the strong rumor among basketball circles is he got $3 million.
Okay.
How do you establish whether that's a market value deal or not? I don't understand how you do that.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I get it. All that to say, they had multiple people checking Isaacs. A couple of the schools muddying a little bit. I've heard Arkansas. I've heard Houston on him potentially, but I still think this is a primarily Ole Miss yes or no at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He and Beard are tight. He clearly came first visit. Everything was pointing toward the Rebels. Had they just said okay. So my guess is that ends up being whatever, but that's where we are here at this point. So we'll see with him. How much of Saturday night's games did you watch? You're dealing with storms.
I was dealing with
the
storms
thought of prom,
and
all
I was
that.
out at a prom party, where it was pouring down rain, and we were trying to. I wasn't playing a big role. I did help a little bit. It was as umbrella man, but
I hated it for the kids. How'd last night go with that situation?
They had it. Carson went in sweats.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was pretty informal.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I saw parts of the second half of
which one?
Of Auburn, Florida.
Okay.
And then got back here late, and I saw the end of Duke Houston. I did not see the game. I didn't. So to answer your question, I didn't see much Final Four at all.
I watched all of Florida and Auburn around the so I had on TV. I mean, we've had plenty of talk about this. Had on the broadcast on the Memphis CBS affiliate, and you had the weather situation that was going on. Tornadoes all around, falling, Oxford, New Albany, Ingomar hit. Hope everybody's doing okay over there. And then the weather guy who stayed frustrated the entire time because people were griping about not being able to hear the game. And my thing with that is just do your job and quit repeating it every 10 minutes because you're just making it worse. Like, that's what I didn't get with the meteorologist guy is you are FCC compliant to have to come on, break in there, and do what you're doing. And yes, people are going to be frustrated with you about it that this tornado is not over their top of their house at the moment. But just do the freaking thing. Say every once in a while, hey, as soon as the game's back on, you'll get the screen. Cool, we'll be gone when we can. Instead, we've got these lectures that have started going on as you should never be frustrated and whatever. And then what I didn't get was the CBS situation. They stayed with it even after it was gone from their coverage area for a minute. And it was like, well, if we can help somebody over there, it's like, well, let's let WTVA pick it up now. Tupelo got it. Matt, he's got streets named after him and stuff. Everybody loves Matt LeBahan. Like, let him handle it now. It's over here. It's out of our area. So I think we could drop a lot of the frustration. The meteorologist would just tell me about the weather and quit dictating people's frustrations on air at that point. That was my take. And see, I did this cool thing where I pulled up my computer for the national broadcast where I didn't get that and just put it up there on the screen.
That was smart.
And did that. And I get the play-by-play and the stuff and the whole deal. That's all. And then I'm the real big idiot. When Duke went up by 11 with like 3 minutes left, I went to bed. So I missed the comeback. I saw it at 4:30 the next morning. Well, I saw the message board. There's a thread on the board that goes, hey, Duke choked. And I was like, hold on, what? And then pulled it up. 11-1 run to close by the Cougars.
There was some choking. There was a bad foul call.
There was.
It was a bad call. It was a bad call.
I'm sure Duke's got their fair share over the days. I'm not upset by it.
I don't have the Duke hate that a lot of people have.
I don't really either for the most part.
Like, I don't really.
But I am positive Duke got a call somewhere in the second
Sure.
half of that basketball game.
I'm always interested by the Duke hate. Like, why are we hating them? But a lot of people hate them. Hate them. And I'm like,
The most obnoxious, arrogant team in the country. You're wondering?
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it doesn't really ever strike me that way. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other on Duke.
We don't cover anybody that plays them ever, so you don't see them the same way.
Maybe so.
I mean, I told you.
I mean, we cover the SEC. Arrogant, obnoxious is like so commonplace that we're going to hate Duke?
Well, it's.
I mean, the most of the SEC is arrogant and obnoxious.
And I'm kind of a Duke person because, I mean, I told you growing up, you kind of pick Carolina or Duke, and I always pick Duke. I mean, like, I found myself pulling for Duke over Carolina always growing up.
Tupelo, I will not watch any. But I never do. I never watch any of the ESPN talking head shows. It's just not my thing. Not my thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they will overreact. And I'm not even sure it's a complete overreaction to what happened yesterday, but they will not provide any context at all.
7:50 Central on a start time tonight.
Is that right?
I think that's right. You catch the end of that? Who you want to win?
I'm for Florida.
Are you?
Yeah, sure.
I think I am, but Houston's the one team that I'm. My allegiance might switch at some point in the game tonight. I don't mind Samson getting a title. I like this Houston team.
Yeah.
I'd be all right.
Yeah. I mean, I picked Florida to win a long time ago. I picked Florida and Houston to get to the spot, and I picked Florida to win. It's not about my pick. I don't really care. I mean, I'm not one of the people that's like, I've got this unit on this team, and I have nothing on anybody. But I like Florida. I think Todd's done a good job. He's built a dynamic roster. I like the way they play the game. I think Clayton is seriously underrated as a college player. He's a beast. It'll be interesting. We're going to do all the Houston's tough. Okay, Florida's tough too.
They've been through the gauntlet here.
I don't think a Florida basketball practice is a walk in the park.
We are going to kind of do that. Florida's the shiny, flashy, soft, whatever group
and that's horseshit.
Yeah. The upscale program that's high flying.
I mean, I've heard stories. It's not true. Ain't no chance that this is some Florida team's going to be, oh gosh,
Houston,
they're touching us.
Yeah.
No, they're going to play hard. Florida Auburn was the part that I saw.
Yeah.
Damn physical.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought Auburn played fine. This got beat. I mean, Auburn didn't choke or do anything bad in that game. This got beat. Florida took over in the second half. Clayton's awesome. He is. He's fantastic, especially in crunch time. So, all right, we'll keep talking some basketball in a second. Come back. The Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom. So go to the Ole Miss campus. They aim to explore and examine the fundamental and founding principles of the United States of America. They offer both an academic minor in freedom studies and scholarship opportunities for Ole Miss students that bring along lots of networking potential, including every single Thursday. Typically, got speakers coming up. To learn more, contact Steven Scoltetti or Rankin Shirley at freedom@olemiss.edu or visit independence.olemiss.edu.
We are also brought to you by Easy Hemp Co. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural, made with real fruit. No added sugar, low-calorie, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare, control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit easyhempco.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. It's a Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC and CBD extracts. It's for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly. I'll have a mailbag to you on Wednesday. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email art@arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Podcast is brought to you by the Men's Clinic that's in Madison and Brandon. themanthing.com is the website. Check them out. Head on down after the first appointment. They can see you from anywhere because their mission's simple. They want their patients to remain as healthy and as strong as possible throughout the aging process. They optimize testosterone, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, treat insulin resistance, and much more. So again, that's Madison and Brandon, 601-607-7869. Florida favored by 1.5 tonight, I believe, is the line on that game. I don't know what the over-under is. Let's see. Money line, Houston minus 105, so basically even, and over-under 140.5, so 70-ish. Both ways there for that one. UConn women destroyed South Carolina in the women's title game yesterday.
Yes.
Won by 20-something, I think.
What a shame.
Their average margin of victory in the final 4 games was 28.5 points, UCLA, and then South Carolina there for UConn. If you're into it at all, the tournament, just a good game, the sport, Juju Watkins getting hurt is what kind of robbed everybody because SC was even still UConn's closest game of the tournament.
Yeah.
And they did it without Juju. So that would have been a hell of a game had you gotten that. I don't really do the math in my head now, but I guess Ole Miss ended up playing like 5 of the Elite 8 or 6 of the Elite 8 over the course of the season.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because they played UConn and USC and UCLA, obviously, and then
I was happy for Paige Beckers.
I like Paige Beckers.
I don't know
tear the
why.
ACL 2 years ago, come back. And UConn, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. As you know, I kind of get cracked up by Dan Hurley. The women are always annoying for the years of Gino just dominating because it was boring, but they haven't won in like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it almost made them sort of likable that they were trying to win again for some reason. Like I found myself pulling for UConn throughout the tournament, and that's an odd deal for me.
I have no feelings one way or the other about Gino Auriemma. It's like fine, whatever.
He's kind of like Hurley. He is a complete arrogant prick, but he makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, I don't have to deal with you. Like whatever.
I like her, and I like that team for the most part. I didn't watch much of it. I didn't watch any of it yesterday, but I saw the highlights.
I do. I like them.
Good for them.
No, I do. I kind of like UConn. I pull for them, sort of.
And I don't know. Dawn Staley, I like Dawn Staley fine. I just, after a while, it's like, okay, enough.
You have Hurley on this side for UConn. And on the women's side, you've got that story from a few years ago that I've told in the podcast was they had the official visitor in town or whatever, but it was a road game. So she's between Duke and UNC in Connecticut. UConn's playing Duke. The game's at Duke, but Gino was recruiting her too. They're beating the hell out of Duke in Durham, and he walks by her and goes, "Hey, you really should go there. They need you." In the middle of the game.
And he got her, right? She came to
probably.
UConn.
Hell, I don't know. But it's like, did you see the list of championships they've won over the last how many ever years? Since 1995, I believe, when the UConn women maybe won their first title. I don't know. Whatever 95 started. So 31 years, 62 total potential championships between the men and the women. I guess technically 60 because 2020. UConn has 18 total titles since 1995 in basketball, women and men combined.
Little engine that could, man.
Little engine that could. The only 2 seed, Neal. The only 2 seed. You got scratch on the men's side, 1v1, v1, v1. On the women's side, 1-1-1, and then the 2. UConn.
Yeah, there you go.
Chugga-lugga, chugga-lugga, chugga-lugga. Who has the first pick? Who's going to get Beckers?
Oh, God. I don't. No clue. Jesus. I mean, the Phoenix Suns. I don't know. The Charlotte Hornets.
All right, let's look.
The Wizards.
I swear I think you would only get like half if I said, is this a professional women's basketball team or a made-up one? I'm not sure I'm not going to do that because I don't have the energy. Dallas has the first pick. Do you know their mascot?
No clue.
If you'd given me multiple choice, I would have gotten it. Had you just told me something, no, not a chance in hell.
What is it?
The Wings.
Oh, would have never gotten that.
The Dallas Wings.
Throw me like 10 of them. Let's see if I can get any.
Well, I got 12 right here.
All right.
Or 11. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Seattle.
Skyforce.
You're kind of close. Storm.
Okay.
Washington. You should get this one. They've been around forever.
Bullets.
No, but this is, back in the day, they used to kind of play off the men's name a little bit. So not Wizards, but
Magicians.
Mystics.
Mystics. Okay.
Expansion team. Golden State.
Really?
Kerr wears their shirt a lot. Have you not seen this?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Fighters.
Valkyries.
Oh.
Yeah. Connecticut.
Sky.
No.
Sun.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Is that like from the Mohegan Sun? Is it like
Must be.
Okay. New York.
Liberty.
Good job. Who was their first big star back in the day?
Teresa Witherspoon.
Rebecca Lobo.
Close enough.
Okay. You're going to get Indiana. Minnesota.
Fever.
No.
No, Wild.
That's their hockey team.
Lakes.
No, really close.
Rivers.
Well, close the other way.
Water.
Lynx.
Oh.
Not Lakes, but Lynx.
Okay.
Chicago. You know this one.
I don't. Force.
You said it for somebody else a minute ago.
Fever.
No.
Sun.
Chicago Sky.
Sky.
Atlanta. Carol Ross used to be their head coach.
Thrashers. I don't know. I don't watch the WNBA.
You're this bad?
I don't watch it
I would
at
have gotten
all.
most of these.
Oh, I mean, I pay no attention to it.
Atlanta Dream.
Sure.
Los Angeles. Lisa
gosh.
Leslie for years.
Yeah, the Los Angeles. It's so bad. I can't remember.
Sparks.
Of course, who could forget? Other than me.
Vegas. Last one. Come on, Neal.
Didn't they win a title recently?
Yes, they were like the super team.
Yeah. Fire. Desert.
No.
Heat.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Aces. Las Vegas Aces.
That makes sense. Cards and stuff.
I think that's all of them. Good God. What do you get, like 3?
How'd the Fever do this year?
Made playoffs.
Okay.
They're fine.
When's that start back up?
Well, the draft is in like 4 weeks. Or
Okay.
no, next week. Sorry,
Okay.
it's next week. Now I'm curious. NBA standings. The Fever finished 6th, 20-20.
Oh.
Exactly 500.
They got to get Caitlin a better supporting cast.
Well, they were the worst team in the league, which is why they got her. So yes, they went from.
So Paige Beckers is headed to Dallas.
Yeah, because Juju's not eligible, right? She's going back to school.
I would assume.
You make more money in that, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what your endorsements are in the NBA. I don't know.
If your name's not Caitlin Clark, it's probably not much.
Okay. Yeah, the Liberty won the league. I don't know who won the title, but the Liberty won the league. They went 32-8 last year.
Okay. Good for them.
Really?
Sure.
You don't get the pass.
No, I don't have time to watch some of the stuff that I already pay for.
I do actually think that would be a really good one. Like, it would be better than Talladega. It would be funnier is make him get courtside seats to a WNBA game.
That would be funny.
And sit and pull for somebody.
Wonder what that would cost.
Well, we couldn't pick a Clark game because it's too expensive.
Yeah,
we'd have to pick like the Wings and the Valkyries or something.
Yeah.
And pick a player. Yeah, Armini did play for the Chicago Sky. That is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. I think Carol might have coached the Sparks at one time too. In LA.
Oh, really?
She was at least an assistant, but I know she was the head coach of the Dream. So, anyway. All right. Tonight, 7:50 Central for your final. You've got Comic-Con dress up.
Yeah.
We saw the Atlanta Comic-Con things back in the day in
Yeah.
2014. They were all getting in the elevator with their stuff on. Interesting crew.
It was a fascinating crew.
So, yeah. All right. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Football, Lane Kiffin speaking again tomorrow. Basketball, we'll see what the portal takes us today. And then baseball again, 5-game week beginning with tomorrow night. That's not at AutoZone, by the way, so don't go to AutoZone thinking there's a game. FedEx Park for that there, the University of Memphis. So, Rebels and Tigers. Talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe.